So I wanted to see how the new Mercari local process would work before I started adding it to all my listings. I love the idea of somebody coming to my house and picking up a Billy the Big Mouth bass and driving it to the other side of town. And so that's exactly what I did. So I listed Billy for $1 plus the local delivery option, which starts at $7.99 and goes up depending on the distance between you and the buyer. The only rules really as far as size are that it weighs less than 50 pounds and that it fits in the trunk of a car, which they call 45 by 35 by 15, which is pretty big actually. So after I listed it, I sent a link to my friend and had her purchase it. She had to confirm her phone number and address, and after doing such, that $7.99 delivery fee turned to $9.99. And just for reference, we live about 12 miles apart. Going through the process on her end, she was asked if it was okay for the driver to leave the box on her doorstep, and if not, she was given a blank box to leave instructions for the driver. If there was a door code they needed to have or a gate code, just any special instructions to give the Uber driver. After she paid, she was told to wait for me, the seller, to set up a pickup and delivery time. At that same time, I was sent a push notification from Mercari telling me to set up that pickup and delivery time. The next available time slot was between 3 and 4 p.m., which was 4 hours from the current time. I did want to point out that I was expecting to have to pick coinciding times with the buyer, that whatever time I picked, she would have to confirm, or, we would have to work it out so that the time worked for both of us, but that wasn't the case. I picked the time that worked best for me, and then she was told what that time was going to be. The option wasn't given to her at all. And at first that kind of surprised me, just, what if that time didn't work for her? What if she wasn't going to be there at that time? But then after I thought about it, I realized that if she had purchased the regular way, like if I would have had to ship it, she wouldn't have had a say in what time the package actually arrived at her house anyway. The package would be sitting on her porch either way, whether it was the Uber driver that left it there or the mailman. Either way, it's going to be sitting on her porch. I also had to check a box saying if I would be leaving the item at my front door, if I would meet the driver at my front door, or if I would meet the driver outside. I did have her attempt to cancel the order just to kind of see how that process worked. She was able to send me a cancellation request that I could then either approve or deny, but it was completely up to me whether I let her cancel or not. Even though I still had a few hours before the Uber driver was scheduled to be there, I went ahead and put the fish in a box and then left it on my front porch just in case I forgot. I do want to point out that after the fact, I realized that I was supposed to seal the box, and they told me to write on it for Uber to Heather16, which is her username. I didn't do that. I just put it inside of an open box, and it still worked out, but definitely that'd probably be the smartest. So at 2 o'clock, I got a text and a push notification reminding me that in 1 hour, the driver would be there to pick up the item. At 2:30, I got another one. And then at 3, I was notified that the driver was on their way. At 3:05, I was notified that the driver was at my house. And at 3:06, I was notified that the driver had successfully picked up the item and was on their way to the buyer. About 10 minutes later, I received another notification letting me know that the item had been successfully delivered and that the buyer would be rating me soon. Now I wanted to see what would happen if she claimed that the item didn't work when it arrived. Shipping protection is included on Mercari with both the shipping labels, anything shipped with a Mercari shipping label, as well as anything shipped with Mercari local, and that's up to $200. So if your item is lost or damaged in transit, they will cover you up to $200 of your earnings. So I didn't plan on taking advantage of this policy. I figured after she filled out the request, Mercari would probably notify me and give me the chance to dispute it or accept it, but it actually didn't work that way. So on her end, when she was filling out the "there's a problem with my item" form, she had to provide 8 photos as well as so many words describing exactly what was wrong with the item and, what the issue was. Immediately upon submitting that form, she got a notification telling her that she had received a full refund. And simultaneously, I also received a notification letting me know that I had been paid out my funds or my earnings. I don't know if that process would have been different had the price of the item been more than $1. I'm assuming so. I don't think that they would just pay out $200 that easily. But that's what happened in this situation. So my takeaway from this, if you offer free shipping on your items, you cannot also offer local on those same items. The local option is always a paid option. So if you're a seller that does free shipping, you're going to have to choose which items you keep the free shipping on and which ones you do local on. It's one or the other. If you charge shipping on your items, then there's no reason not to do the local option. It's no extra work and you're not losing anything. Personally, I do free shipping on Mercari. And when it comes to those bigger items that I don't want to ship or would like to sell locally, I think I'm going to continue using Facebook Marketplace. Maybe in bigger towns this would work, or maybe this is something that you think would work for you if you're not willing to meet up with people or deal with people. For me, I think that people in my town and even me, that extra $10 or whatever the shipping is going to be, I don't think people are willing to pay that. And I also don't think the eyeballs are on Mercari Local as much as they are on Facebook or even Craigslist or OfferUp. So I hope this was helpful for anyone unsure about if they wanted to sell with this option or not. In the comments below if you think this is something that would work for you, if you plan on using it, if you don't. And thanks for watching. Bye.